Hey all, Scott here. There I was, about to get out of bed and face the challenges life had for me that day. But then the trauma came back and I just couldn't do it with this in the room.
Mario Kart Wii is the best Mario Kart for the Wii, but at that point it's also the worst. This is one divisive game. People either consider this to be one of the worst Mario Karts or one of the best, and I am guilty of committing the former. This was the first Mario Kart for a home console I owned myself. I played 64 and Double Dash at friends' houses, and I contracted Super Circuit, so this wasn't my first rodeo, rather my first one under my own roof with my own TV. And I feel like that was the case for lots of people, as Mario Kart Wii sold over 37 million copies. More people have Mario Kart Wii than scurvy.
Why was this the Mario Kart to really break the ice with humanity? Well, I'm glad I asked. Allow me to introduce my 3-step program to be just like Mario Kart Wii.
Step 1, release on the Wii. You guys know the Wii, right? Everybody has one, and if you don't think you do, check your couch cushions, one probably slipped in there. The Nintendo Wii sold over 100 million consoles. Everybody was going crazy for it, so releasing a Mario Kart title on it, it was gonna bleed cash. Step 2, have 5 Mario Kart games on 5 prior systems. The series was already wildly successful at this point, and the fact that pretty much everybody bought a Wii meant that people who might have only played one Mario Kart in the past, well, they have a new Mario Kart to play on this new platform they bought. And for the people who never played a Mario Kart prior to the Wii, step 3, wheel. Mario Kart Wii came bundled with the Wii Wheel, an accessory that really put you in the driver's seat. This is plastic.
This was the big reason why Mario Kart Wii was so popular. The Wii was already doing really well because you could swing the remote to play golf. It felt so natural. Well, what if you could do the same for traffic violations?
Yes, Mario Kart Wii came in a chubby little container filled with Mario Kart Wii and Wii Wheel. I remember really wanting this game because of the Wii Wheel. The idea of driving in a video game with an actual wheel, like what? The game was announced at E3 2007 alongside the Wii Wheel, and this is how the audience reacted to the Wii Wheel.
A custom Wii Wheel that makes its debut with Mario Kart for Wii.
And this is how any sane being reacted.
Did you see the wheel?
Mario Kart Wii released in April 2008 worldwide, and the world took notice. The Wii itself, for the first couple years of its life, was notoriously hard to find in stock at stores, and Mario Kart Wii was the same for a bit. That game was tough to get your hands on. Right when stores got copies in, they sold out. Everybody wanted this game. In the summer of 2008, an 11-year-old Scott went to Target to buy Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but he saw they had 1 copy left of Mario Kart Wii. I am still shocked about that. I only had enough of my own money for Smash Brothers, so I made a deal with my mom where she would buy Mario Kart Wii, but I'd have to wait until Christmas to play it. The next couple months were torturous knowing that this game that nobody could get their hands on was somewhere hidden in my house. I just didn't know where. That's why I chip my games now. Mario Kart Wii was a game I really did want, but I think what put it over the edge for me was just how hard it was to get a hold of. Like, I didn't want leprosy until I realized how few people got it. But a few days before Christmas 2008, I had a friend over and my mom decided to be civil and let me have the game early. I was so happy and pissed.
This game takes no prisoners. I had my fun with this game, but I hated it too. It's Mario Kart at its absolute best and also its absolute worst. So I think it's about time I battle my inner demons and step into the Mario Kart Wii arena once again to see if this game is actually good or not. Let's do it.
Yep, this was my hell. I don't like how the title screen is the same as the box, which is the same as the box, and I don't like how zoomed in the standard case is compared to the full art. It feels cropped and weird. Mario Kart Wii.
Like, you could come up with a better name.
Actually, early in development, they considered the title Mario Kart X, but then settled on Mario Kart Wii because it just fit the vibe of the game. Here we have the original logo. It is just a copy of Mario Kart DS's logo, and we ended up with this blue circle thing, which is on the back of the Wii Wheel. Might as well talk about this thing now. Yes, this is the Wii Wheel. We insert the Wii remote in it, and bam, we have a steering wheel to control the game with. It was an extremely novel concept, and the wheel itself is crazy well designed. I mean, it should be. Nintendo went through way too many prototypes for a wheel. A wheel. There's a hole for the Wii's wrist strap to go through. The wheel itself has an enlarged B button that's just begging to be pressed, and on the side we have a little see-through section for the IR sensor, which means you can still select stuff with the remote while it's inserted. The Wii Wheel is a testament to just how versatile the Wii remote could be. You can just smack it into any plastic you throw at it. Here, bam, it's a wheel. Now if you wanted to use the Wii Wheel with other games, I mean, sure, go ahead, but always look for the compatible with Wii Wheel logo on the box to make sure you can. it's plastic. We have multiple save files we can select, which is actually really nice. You don't have to start over from scratch if you're just dying to unlock baby Luigi again. Here we have 11-year-old Scott. He was pissed off for some reason and didn't complete as much of the game as he wanted to. We have the standard Grand Prix, time trials, battle mode, the usual suspects, 16 brand new tracks, and just like with Mario Kart DS, we brought back 16 retro tracks from the past 5 games. No repeats for Mario Kart DS either, completely new retro tracks. Well, let's start fresh and hop into a race. Alright, why Scott didn't like Mario Kart Wii that much? Number 1, it doesn't look great. Don't get me wrong, this game looks fine overall, and it runs flawlessly at a rock-solid frame rate. That's all that really matters. But my god, this game, I never liked how it looked. The graphics have this weird, hazy, glow, slight blur, desaturation to it all, which just looks odd. Character models, in my opinion, look worse than how they did in Double Dash. Look at Bowser, look how jaggy his model is. Look at Donkey Kong, look at Funky Kong, his elbows could open cans. The characters have this shiny plastic look to them, and just the overall aesthetic of Mario Kart Wii just isn't that appealing to me. It's so bland, it has no character. Like, look at this font compared to Double Dash. What? This is the font you use at gunpoint. Now listen, I wasn't expecting the world from this game visually. It is on the Wii after all. I cracked one open and Nintendo just left an IOU. This console isn't powerful, but it's more powerful than the GameCube, and it's capable of pumping out incredible looking games. My main issue with Mario Kart Wii is that it just doesn't look better than Double Dash. In fact, I'd say Double Dash is the better looking game. It's more colorful, the character models look better, and it's just cleaner looking. I think the best way to describe Mario Kart Wii's visuals is just painfully underwhelming. At least you can use all kinds of different controllers. Now, the one Nintendo's screaming at us to use the most is the Wii Remote in the Wii Wheel. To accelerate, hold 2. Use an item, hit the D-pad. If you want to throw it behind or ahead of you, if possible, you can hit up or down. Perform drifts, hit the B. And finally, to steer your cart, you have to turn the wheel.
Motion controls are bullshit, right?
Yes, motion-controlled Mario Kart. I have to hand it to Nintendo. The wheel setup works surprisingly well. All the buttons are laid out perfectly for Mario Kart this way, and there's not really any compromises you have to make by controlling it this way. It's not like with Smash Brothers where you hold the Wii Remote on its side to play and just end up thinking, if only. There are plenty of people who actually prefer using the wheel and motion controls in general to play Mario Kart. I'm not one of those people. I don't actively hate it, but I never took the time to get fully used to it. I just feel like every time I turn way harder than I ever wanted to. And here we have why Scott didn't like Mario Kart Wii that much, number 2. He only played with the Wii Wheel and was just not good at the game in general. These two things do not go well together at all. I mean, I was young and I was stupid. Mario Kart Wii offers an automatic drift function where you don't have to worry about doing it yourself, the game does it for you. This was definitely to make the game more friendly for casual players since the Wii's audience was filled with them. I totally kept selecting automatic drifting as a kid because what? I'll let the game do it for me. What's the point of doing it myself when the game will do it for me? That's probably why I didn't do well with this game. If you can, drift manually. Well, you don't have to play with the Wii Wheel. You can just play with the Wii Remote on its side if you want. I wish I knew that when I was younger. I bought a second Wii Wheel for friends. I could have bought food. Now, if the motion controls aren't your thing, you can plug in a nunchuck to control the game with an analog stick. I mean, yeah, this is fine, but I generally go with the classic controller or the GameCube controller. Just much easier to control this way, in my opinion. It's just a much more comfortable and reliable method. But we do have one major issue. See, Mario Kart Wii introduced something big, the trick system. Right before your kart goes airborne, if you shake your controller at the last second, you can perform a trick in the air, which gives you a boost when you hit the ground. Honestly, a fantastic addition to the gameplay. It adds so much interactivity and purpose to the track layouts. It makes ramps in the older Mario Karts feel pointless. Like, if I can't trick off of them, what's the point? Just a little hint of strategy is added this way, and it's so good. Problem though, if you use the classic or GameCube controller to perform tricks, you must hit the D-pad.
This is like trying to tie your shoes while driving.
I mean, it works, but there are so many great buttons on these controllers. Why not use them? Another new element of gameplay introduced with Mario Kart Wii was bikes. This title is a fucking lie. Karts aren't your only option. You can select a variety of two-wheeled vehicles and they are infinitely better than karts. While driving on straightaways with your bike, you can shake the controller up or hit up on the D-pad on the everyday man's controller to do a wheelie. You go a bit faster by doing this, so it's a good idea to do it when you can. Now, what do karts have to make up for the lack of wheelies? You can boost a bit more on drifts, but it's not that big of a deal. Bikes are easily the go-to vehicle of choice in this game. Well, might as well move on to why Scott didn't like Mario Kart Wii that much, number 3. I have had races with like 4 blue shells being thrown out sometimes. Why do players get the bullet bill like 10 seconds into a race? Like, do they really need that? Do they need to catch up this early on when everybody is this close to each other? Oh wow, a blooper, that didn't do anything. Mario Kart Wii's items are out of control. Primarily the blue shell appears far too frequently. And the new items introduced don't add all too much to the game. The Mega Mushroom, it was introduced in New Super Mario Bros. It was a complete gimmick there and is a complete gimmick here. I would always get crazy excited when I got this, and after activating it, I'd grow big for like 5 seconds and then we're all back to reality. The Mega Mushroom is pretty much a less effective star. Like, it makes you invincible to a few things, but when other people get a star or a bullet bill or lightning, yeah, it goes away. But it's so short-lived and just makes you grow big. There's not much to this one. The Pow Block. So this is from the original Mario Bros. Arcade game where you could hit this 3 times to hit all enemies on screen. In Mario Kart Wii, if one player gets a Pow Block and activates it, everybody in front of them gets a Pow Block on their screen, and 3, 2, 1, it's annoying. Just like the Mega Mushroom, the Pow Block is pretty much a less effective version of another item, in this case, lightning. The lightning affects all players, while the Pow Block only affects all the players in front of you and causes everybody to spin out and lose their items. But the main difference is you can avoid the Pow Block's effect if you're in the air while it goes off, which that only depends on what part of the track you're at. If you're about to swap spit with a ramp, well, you're in luck if the POW is coming. And the final new item is the Thundercloud. God bless the Thundercloud, an item that breaks the conventions of Mario Kart, an item that hurts me. This was a big pill to swallow. I had to think about this one a lot. When you get the Thundercloud, your speed increases slightly, but you have to bump into another racer to pass it on pronto, because if you don't, you'll eventually get spanked with lightning. Like, it's a cool idea. I like the fact that it does bring a different type of tension and strategy to the items. It actually brings a lot of strategy and quick thinking. It's just, I don't want it. So yeah, the item balance is off the charts. Too many blue shells, bloopers, you get at least 1 Pow Block appearing per race, which is just annoying. It brings everything to a halt and you lose all your items. The new items aren't that great, but the item balance made me feel alive. Don't get me wrong, it is beyond frustrating, but there's a certain charm to that. It's like playing Mario Party. Like, yeah, it's bullshit, but the fun kind of bullshit. You could be the best player in the world and then get hit by an item, and then another item, and then another. There's nothing you can do about that. Sure, that happens in other Mario Karts, but Mario Kart Wii is so ridiculous with its items. It's cranked up to the max. It's so chaotic and unbalanced, but that's what makes it fun in its own way. It gives the game its own feel. But it's still number 3 on why Scott didn't like Mario Kart Wii that much. God, this game pissed me off. Now, Mario Kart Wii features the most playable characters in the series so far, 26 total, and it's a pretty decent roster. Baby Peach and Baby Daisy are here. Say it with me.
Thank fucking God.
Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy, that's a great new character. She is unlockable. You have to rank highly on all the Mirror Mode Grand Prix Cups, but if you finish 50 races and have a Mario Galaxy save file on your Wii, she can be unlocked that way. I thought I was the smartest fucking kid ever by saying Rosalina is a $50 character. You need to buy Mario Galaxy to play as her. Which, I mean, I wasn't wrong. Funky Kong's here, which is everybody's favorite character in this game. There's no debating that. He was always that bachelor uncle everybody wished they were, and is apparently the best character in this game in terms of stats.
Is anybody really surprised?
And then Dry Bowser. Yeah, out of all the other characters they could have chosen or brought back from older games, no, Bone Bowser. But I saved the best for last. We have the greatest addition to the roster. Me. See, you get this picture for getting to the end credits. If you took a picture off screen and sent this to me in 2008, I would have shit myself. They put me in Mario Kart. I loved when Nintendo let me use my Mii in these games. I honestly would choose my Mii just so I could gawk at myself on Luigi Circuit. Speaking of which, 32 tracks are once again present, just like with Mario Kart DS. 16 new, 16 retro. There are quite a bit of highlights here, and starting with the Mushroom Cup, we have the definition of not a highlight, Luigi Circuit. I want a list of people who answered to the question, what do you like about Mario Kart Wii?
The Luigi Circuit!
Double Dash also started out with a track named Luigi Circuit, but at least that one had the interesting gimmick of having a map you can't show on TV. There were moments where you could go face to face with oncoming traffic, players going in the opposite direction. That was pretty cool. Luigi Circuit and Mario Kart Wii, there's this one section with a ton of dash panels. I had to research the name, and that's it. Moo Moo Meadows. Now, this is a cozy track. It's a sequel to Moo Moo Farm from Mario Kart 64. I really do enjoy this course, just like how I enjoy Mushroom Gorge, the title of my bedroom. This one has some big, giant, huge mushrooms to bounce off of. You have to make sure you jump off of them at a good angle, because if not, yeah. Toad's Factory, a behind-the-scenes look at what hell they have to go through to make those item boxes. I really love the theme of this track. Actually playing it, it's alright. Nothing I'm absolutely demanding to play when popping this game in, to be honest. Moving on to the Flower Cup, Mario Circuit. They finally did it. They took Mario Circuit from Double Dash and did it again. Coconut Mall, now this is one of my go-to tracks. It's so cool, we're traveling through a mall and each and every section has something neat going on. Some escalators, a parking lot, I'm easy to please. DK Summit, because nothing screams DK Summit like a giant statue of Mario. Also, I'm sorry, in the rest of the world, it was called DK Snowboard Cross. That name change is the only reason I'm staying in America. I'm more of a Summit guy. This is one of the main tracks I think about when Mario Kart Wii is brought up, mainly due to these little areas. Since they added bikes into the game, the developers were thinking about going for a more extreme sports angle, and we can see that here with these half pipes. It's a decent course, but Wario's Gold Mine is like a theme park attraction. This is such an awesome idea for a track, and it's ridiculously fun as well. And then we move on to the Star Cup with Daisy Circuit. The main takeaway from this track is the implication that Daisy and Luigi are a thing. I never liked the idea of them as a couple because honestly, if they ever live together, I just feel like their tap water is gonna smell terrible. They seem like that kind of couple. It's a basic track during a sunset in the middle of a town. Not bad. Koopa Cave. Look at this, okay? We're going down these rapids, going in this tunnel where it can drive on the walls. Like, come on, this is the life! Maple Treeway may just be my favorite track in the game, just due to how great the design of this course is. It's just so pleasant, I love it. Now, Grumble Volcano, it's okay, just nothing that special to me. The fact that it returned in Mario Kart 8 made me really think for a few hours there. The Special Cup houses dry ruins. I am very picky about my desert stages. I don't like standard desert areas, but when we go inside a temple sort of thing, then I'm all for it. Dry ruins, you get a pass. Moonview Highway is a bit of a sequel to Toad's Turnpike and Mushroom City, and it is way more fun and fast paced than those two. Bowser's Castle and Rainbow Road finish things off as usual. Bowser's Castle is great, Rainbow Road gives me an aneurysm. Now, we also have 16 retro tracks as well. The selection isn't half bad. We get some great ones and a good ratio overall. We get 4 from each entry, except Super Mario Kart and Super Circuit, which get 2 each. But of course, we do have such classics as Mario Circuit from Double Dash when we have a new Mario Circuit, which is so similar. But here's my main issue with the retro tracks. They don't look great. Like, they updated them all a bit graphically, but they didn't go all the way. They still very much feel like old-ass tracks. The SNES and GBA ones just look bad. Like, look at the water animation on Shy Guy Beach. Look at the background of Mario Circuit 3. I would have preferred if they kept the pixel art and had the 3D models driving on top of them. Here, it just looks painfully simple and lame. The N64 tracks just look very bland. I wish the retro tracks didn't feel like retro tracks. I wish if you just showed me them without telling me what they were, I wouldn't think, oh yeah, these are old courses. I wish they blended in with the new ones a bit more. Well, there's always battle mode to check out, one of my favorite ways to discern a Mario Kart's worth. Why Scott didn't like Mario Kart Wii that much, number 4. The battle mode. You are forced to be on 2 teams of 6 and computers flood the match. This isn't bad, but this isn't the battle mode I want. I at least wanted the option to play with just 2 to 4 human players. No teams, no computers. But it's not there. We have a time limit and it's just not nearly as intense this way. The way battle mode worked in the past made it so you were always on edge. Here, it's just 3 minutes go by and then it's over. It doesn't matter if you're putrid at the game because as long as your team does okay, then it's fine. We have 10 stages to play on, which is great, 5 new and 5 old, and Balloon Battle returns alongside the introduction of coin runners. Just collect as many coins as you can. I'm not gonna say this battle mode is bad or not fun, but it's not the same as how it was in Double Dash or 64, and I preferred that style, and I wish they gave me the option to have it. Now, I feel like a big reason battle mode is the way it is due to online play. Mario Kart Wii offered battle mode online, and it makes much more sense to have it under a time limit and in teams so you can get more people in a game and it doesn't last forever. Online multiplayer on the Wii, the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection if you will. This little symbol means a lot to me and I wish more tattoos of it existed. The Wii was not great at online gaming, but one game did it competently, and that happened to be GoldenEye 007 with Mario Kart Wii in a close second. It actually was really good online, and even though the online was shut down in 2014, people have set up their own servers and are still playing it. It was one of the biggest selling points of Mario Kart Wii for a lot of people, and you could download the Mario Kart channel to your Wii home screen to get up to date with Mario Kart Wii info without needing to put in the disc. I'm free! I'm free!
Mario Kart Wii is one of the most unbalanced, unfair games in this series with not a lot of its own style. The graphics were subpar even for its time, and overall it's just incredibly underwhelming. But the new tracks are honestly some of the best in the entire series. The item balance, while absolutely crazy, keeps things really interesting. As an 11-year-old, it was absolutely irritating beyond belief, but when I'm just playing with friends now, I can laugh at myself a whole lot more, so like 5 blue shells happening in one race isn't crazy irritating. It's kinda hilarious. It's not perfect by a long shot, and I didn't like this game for the longest time, but now I appreciate this game a whole lot more. Mario Kart Wii has a lot more to it than I originally remembered. There are so many characters and carts and options. The mission mode from DS came back, but only as an online exclusive mode, which it's no use right now, but it was kinda there. And now the Mario Kart Wii community is huge. Like, have you seen the custom tracks fans put together? These things are crazy. So while it's not my favorite, Mario Kart Wii has a lot more worth than I ever gave it credit for. It still holds up as a really fun game. And in a few areas, it's actually a little better than the games that succeeded it. So I don't think this is going to be the last time I'm going to play it. But the Mario Kart Wii channel actually still needs the game to play races, and I acted a little prematurely.